What's up guys, how's it going? My name is Marcus from Theebullco, and today you're watching, if you have a new puppy, this is what you need to know, alright? Now before we get started guys, make sure you subscribe. 85% of you guys watching my videos aren't subscribed. And the thing about it is, if you're not subscribed, you won't get a chance to see our new videos right when they come out. I do engage with our community for the first 24 hours the video was up. So make sure you're subscribed, make sure you get engaged so that I can answer your questions at any time, okay? So now, today we're talking about puppies, obviously. This is Blitz. Blitz is a 9-week-old American bully, and we got him last weekend. And I thought it would be a perfect thing to do a video, not about Blitz, but about what are the proper steps to take to make sure we raise this dog correctly. Obviously, there is a reason you get a puppy, right? You want companionship. You want a little fluffy thing or a little chunky thing to hold on to when you get home from work, or when you're going to the store, whatever it may be with your dog, right? It's companionship. The thing about it is this: these dogs don't stay puppies for long, right? You have a little short period of a couple months where they're young like this, and they're growing up. They're finding out new things, they're doing cute things, right? Unfortunately, they become a lot bigger within 7, 8, 9 months down the road. And if you haven't treated them the correct way, you have a dog that's gonna be a headache for you, and it's not gonna be companionship at that point, right? And I wanna tell you guys exactly what you need to do and how you need to raise your pet so that you can enjoy him as a puppy, him or her as a puppy, but also have a great adult dog as they grow, okay? Now the first thing you need to do and realize is that your dog as a puppy is gonna pick up your habits. And what does that mean? That means that if you open the back door and you allow your dog to run out of it, if food drops on the floor and you allow your puppy to eat it off the floor, this is something the dog's gonna grow up thinking is okay. And then down the road, you have a dog that's out of control, eating off the table, sprinting out the doors, right? This is when I come into play as a trainer. You have to send your dog to me for me to fix those bad habits. But I want to help you guys not develop those bad habits. So the first thing you need to do is understand your dog is going to develop the habits that you set for them. So what does that mean? That means, number one, when you come home, your dog, your puppy needs to go outside, but you should not engage with your puppy. Yes, of course, after a long day, we get to see our cute little puppy. You're gonna love it. And he's gonna love it. But your cute little puppy's gonna turn in, depending on the type of dog you have, it's gonna be a medium to large sized dog. When you come home from work after your dog's a year, 2 years old, and you're no longer excited to see your really big dog like he's excited to see you, he's gonna be over the top and you're not gonna know how to control that. So start from the beginning. From the time that you get your puppy, when you come home, take your puppy outside. Watch your puppy use the restroom, watch your puppy get its energy out, but don't engage with that puppy until the puppy's calm. This will stop your puppy from developing bad habits of being overly excited when you or family members enter the house. Now, as a young puppy, they do grow rapidly. Their minds, their bodies, they grow very, very rapidly. I get this question all the time. Your puppy needs to eat 3 times a day. Depending on what type of food you feed them, your dog does need to eat 3 times a day. Okay, and this should be spaced out. I feed him 6 a.m., 12, and 6 p.m. There is a 12-hour gap between there, but typically he's sleeping from 9 to 6 a.m. So if he's fine, right? So there's a gap between there, but your puppy needs to eat 3 times a day. 3 times a day. Okay. Now the third thing is this biting. See how he's biting, right? I'm not gonna correct him because he is a show dog. I want him to be as rambunctious and excited as possible. What I am gonna do is not allow him to bite my hand. I'm not gonna leave my hand there so he can bite it. I'm either gonna place my hand in a position to where he can't bite my hand, or move my hand out the way when he does it. If you do this consistently enough, when your dog goes to bite your hand or face or whatever it may be, if you never allow him to bite your hand, he's gonna stop doing it sooner or later because he's never able to do it at all. It's the same thing about jumping. Your dog wouldn't jump if you didn't allow him to jump and then pet him at the same time, okay? Now I know what you're saying, where I'm throwing a lot of information at you. I know. But raising a puppy is a big responsibility, okay? And you want a good dog, don't you? Just sit down for a couple more minutes. I promise it's gonna be worth your while. Habits, eating, moving your hands out of the way when your dog wants to try to bite you as a puppy. Now another thing is, number 4, is your puppy can hold its bladder or movement about 1 hour for every month he or she has been alive. So this puppy right here is 8-9 weeks old. He can hold his bowel movements or bladder movements for 2 hours. And if you allow your puppy to go in there for longer, if they're 8 weeks old, longer than 2 hours in their kennel, then it's really your fault if your puppy goes to the restroom in his kennel, okay? What you need to do is, when you get a new puppy and you're kenneling them at night, as you should, to develop good habits, you should have a schedule to where you're getting up every 2 hours, okay? The problems come when you allow your puppy to use the restroom in its kennel because he has no other choice. He can't hold it anymore. And he goes and sits on it and lays on it, and you sleep through the night. You wake up to a big mess. But unfortunately, that's not the worst part about it. The worst part about it is that you're getting him used to sleeping in his big mess. So guess what? He's never gonna learn to hold it, okay? So, no. Make sure you're setting the right time in his kennel during the night, so when you get up every 2 hours, he's ready to use the restroom, but he hasn't gone yet, and you catch it right before he's gone. Now what does that do to the dog? To the dog, he's like, okay, I get to go out every time you use the restroom. So this means that I'm not supposed to go inside the kennel or in the house. I'm supposed to go outside where he lets me out to use the restroom. And this essentially is how you train a dog to use the restroom, outside, okay? If you're not doing this, you're waking up or you're coming home from work to messes in the kennel, it really is not his fault or or her fault. It's your fault. If you have to work and you have a puppy, he or she needs to be in a really big playpen or a really big kennel to where they have a spot they use the restroom at. But you do not want your puppy to get used to using the restroom and laying on it. Number 1, it's nasty, and number 2, it's going to be a lot harder to train that dog. Now another thing you want to remember is when you're working with your puppy on a daily basis, don't think of it as training, because training is like a thing you do every once in a while. What I'm talking to you is how to treat your dog through the rest of its life. So you don't have to send them to a trainer like myself, okay? Now, I start off all my puppies very early, 8 weeks old, on their bed, okay? And what I do is, at first, I get them used to going on their bed, grabbing something and going on their bed, right? It might be a toy, it might be, a chew stick. I'll give them a chew stick and I'll give it to them. They'll look at it, I'll throw it on their bed, they'll go get it, and I say bed. And the thing about that is that if your puppy has a bed command, guess where they're gonna wanna be for the most part when they're outside their kennel? Yes, in their bed, okay? And these are just habits you wanna develop with your dog. It's not training, it's just a way of life. Your puppy is a lot less likely to develop bad habits. Thus, if you develop good habits with your puppy, you're gonna have a lot better adult dog because you have set those ground rules, right? Another thing you don't wanna do is lay with your puppy on your bed or on your couch, okay? We all know this, right? Pack leadership. Now, the pack leader has been disproven that dogs can tell the difference between a dog and a human. Okay, that's fine. But for me, pack leadership really has nothing to do with what the dog's thinking. It has everything to do what you're thinking, okay? You be the leader. And if you are the leader, you're gonna treat the dog correctly. It's when you become the beta share my spot with you type person to your dog is when they're really gonna take over and they'll act the way they want to act. Okay, so again, develop good habits. Don't sleep with your dog on the bed. Don't let your dog jump on the couch. Right? If you don't put your puppy on your couch, guess what? He'll probably never learn to jump on the couch. Okay. Now Blitz here, you can see he's a little bit antsy. He does want to come out. He does want to smell around and kind of do his own thing. But what we're doing is I'm breaking a touch barrier with him, and I'm making sure when I touch on him, he doesn't open his mouth, and he's able to be controlled in my arms. Okay. Now another thing about Blitz, and a lot of you should practice, is that he didn't like being put on his back. And this is one of the first things that I want to develop with him. Why? Why didn't he not like it? I don't know why, he just didn't like it. But I wanted him to understand that it's not a bad thing when you're getting cuddled, okay? So this right here, you can see he's a little wary still, but from what he first was when we got him, it's a lot better. It absolutely is a lot better. Oh, no. And I'm not holding him hard, I just got him upside down, that's it. And this is something you can practice with your puppy. Your puppy should trust you enough to have them upside down in your arms, okay? Okay? All right, guys, well, that's about it for the day. Just remember, raising a puppy is not about training that puppy daily. It's about living with the puppy the correct way. Feed the puppy 3 times a day. Don't allow the puppy to jump on the beds, and don't put the puppies on the beds yourself. Okay. Rule of thumb: puppies can hold their bladder 1 hour for every month they've been alive. So 8 weeks old, 2 hours max in there. If they have an accident, just clean it up, try it again. Okay, but don't let them sit in it. And guys, obviously I'm not telling you can't enjoy your puppy. Please enjoy your puppy. But if you want to have a good adult after you enjoy the puppyhood, lay down those ground rules. I promise, if you do this, you're going to have a lot better dog, probably the best dog you've ever had, if you just start early. All right, guys? Remember, make sure you subscribe. There's no fluff in my videos. We get right to the point. I want to make sure you guys get the most value out of my videos as possible. All right? My name is Marcus. This is Blitzen. He is, like I said, 9 weeks old. He is our stud here. He is a new stud here. You're going to be seeing a lot more of him. Make sure you follow us on IG, Facebook, TikTok, Theebullco, TheeBullco, on every single, well, almost every single social media platform. Okay? Other than that, guys, you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching.